tells me not to wire the dog up, and then immediately after telling me that, do the thing that wires the dog up the absolute most and start playing with it with the laser.
Well, hello and welcome to the Shakedown. You're sitting here with 3 ex-cons and Nina, the most spectacular character of all, who's now wound up and running around Dave's apartment. But yes, I'm your host, Rainforest, and joining me today are Malone and Dave, looking super awesome and just deciding how they're gonna mix and match their attire right now. How's it going, Malone and Dave?
I
was going to put a suit on, but I thought that'd be a little bit overdressed. And then I thought maybe white shorts, white shirt. But I thought too soon for that. If none of you know, white is the color of clothing we have to wear in prison, which is, I find rather ironic because what is the hardest thing to keep clean?
Oh, yes.
Yes, I don't think I own a single white shirt, t-shirt, that is.
I have one that was gifted to me.
I'd throw it away or fucking get something screw printed on it.
Something screw printed on it?
Yeah, get screw stuff printed on it.
Oh yeah, screw stuff.
Nice. So,
what does that mean, Dave? Screw stuff? Never mind. I'm not going to do that to you, bro.
Okay, thank you. So, last time we ended up talking, we were talking about the Shakedown was on a hiatus because I went to Fan Expo and talked about the Shakedown, and then also I quit my job. And now I'm kind of...
No one cares, Ryan.
Yeah, well, it has some relevance to the Shakedown in the fact that I would like to go work full-time talking about criminal justice and drawing comics. Well, you would like to go full-time drawing comics.
Maybe do criminal justice comic books.
And doing... Hell no, oh my God. And do comic books. That's how you should have phrased it.
Working on comics, and I will say one thing that I am doing right now is working on a restorative justice graphic novel. But that is part of my part of my community service. And that's Nina, everyone.
Yes.
This is for all the YouTube likes because we need to get back on pace. We are taking.
She does have her own Instagram.
Oh,
it's
yes.
Nina_is_a_Pitbull.
Nina_is_a_Pitbull. Getting a free plug right now.
Yes.
And if you want this level of cuteness in your everyday life, please check out Nina's Instagram. Now, Nina is not always that happy, but Malone is there. Her human life mate.
Oh, yes.
Soulmate.
Soulmate.
There you go. Are you happy, Nina?
Yeah, down.
Comfortable?
Look, right here. There she is, y'all.
What is she looking at?
She's looking for a laser.
Are there spirits in the room or something?
She's looking for the laser, and she likes to chase shadows. She's not the smartest dog in the world. She looks really cute, but she's not too sharp.
Yes, very cute. Incredibly cute. YouTube audience is going to love looking at more of Nina's underside online coming soon. But
she is whipping me in the face. Oh, Nina, what are you doing, Nina? Oh, man.
There you go, just chill.
But I will say one of the big reasons that kind of inspired me to move forward, like to quit and to work on criminal justice full time, was in part Malone. And when we both went to the University of Colorado in Colorado Springs, and we did a talk there that went really well. And also Dave, in part, when he came up here and we did a big talk up here that, and basically we had a bunch of people telling their stories about from behind their bars and and their lives afterwards. So I want to do more of that and want to make it a full-time effort, and I'm trying to figure out what that's going to look like going forward. And I definitely see the Shakedown as being part of it. So, and I also see these two guys as being part of it too, some way, shape, or form. Probably Nina too.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out the topic du jour to start a podcast because I don't want to start it and then just not figure it out. But eventually.
You want to do a podcast too? Another one?
Yeah. Why not?
I can't play with that right now, Nina. I can't. Sorry. Yeah, there you go. Entertain yourself.
Malone wants to do the comics podcast at some point.
I don't really want to do a podcast. I want you to do a comic podcast, and then I can be on it whenever I can.
That sounds about right.
I just want to find a very lucrative
subject for a podcast.
No, how should I put this? I just would like somebody to take care of me.
Oh, you want a sugar daddy?
No. And that's a lie. I don't really, because I would get bored with that, and that would just not be good. I would like to.
You don't get bored with taking care of yourself?
No, it's a job. Trust me, it's a chore.
But I mean, you taking care of yourself is multiple full-time jobs right now.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
However, my bills are paid. I mean, and I'm free. I'm still free. So that's saying something. My PO's happy. They got their money too. So I don't go to jail anymore. That's been a great thing. Ironically. So speaking of that, seriously. So recently, my very best friend, who's pretty much, he's like my dad, went to Dubai, and so he entrusted me with his dog for a week, which is his baby. And while it was a hell week with 2 pit bulls in my house, it was very worth it because it was nice because people trust me and they know they can trust me. And then when he came back, and the following week, my kid's mother and her husband went out of town. So next thing I know, I've got keys to 3 different homes, and I'm going over to my kid's mother's husband's house to feed his fish. I'm entrusted with my children, which, I mean, they can pretty much take care of themselves. But I also had keys to her car, her house, everything. And it was I had a moment of gratitude one day driving over there, and I was just kind of like, this is pretty nice. People actually trust me and they can count on me. And that was really cool.
Your kid's mother's husband trusts you.
Yeah, I know. Crazy, right?
Yeah. So what's he got in his house?
Fish.
Okay.
I didn't do anything. I just went and fed the fish and I left. I was just like, oh, he's probably got a hidden camera somewhere. I know I would.
You would have hit a camera somewhere?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Oh, because you said you know yourself.
But anyway, that's side note. Sorry.
No, it is a big, that's a big thing, being able to have that trust back. And honestly, that was kind of my big fear getting out too, is that people would just hear felon and then immediately or ex-con or got out of prison and immediately just it would just be constant judgment going forward.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like coming up on 3 years of doing everything correctly and not breaking the law, and it's like I don't get the judgment anymore from people. It's like,
you mean you got that in the past?
Oh, hell yes. I was a heathen in the past, though. Are you kidding?
Really?
Well, that's another reason why I'm interested in doing this. I would have never even thought of doing anything like trying to change this up in the past. But now, because I've ingrained myself so much in the community up here, then now it actually seems like it could be possible. I have enough connections and people I could potentially work with to actually get this started. The question is, I need to show them something. I need to give them something that they can show to everyone else. And they're everyone would be eager, but I need to give them whatever it is. And it's not going to be just a podcast, but they've got to, there's so and in the past, for the accident, that Ryan, he would have never been so engaged with the community to do any of that type of stuff.
So I've been thinking about exactly what you're talking about right here. And so a lot of people, when you think about it, that go to prison, they come from a background of people that have come in and out of prison who are hustling, selling drugs, doing crime, whatever. And the only thing they've known since they were a kid is illegal activity, and that going to prison is a rite of passage. And they come from poor backgrounds where generally there's just like a strong mother or a grandmother who's like paying bills and everything. So, they go to prison and they've lived in a cash environment all their lives, and they have no clue how to balance a checkbook, how to make a budget, how to live on, a very limited budget compared to what they were living on before. Like nobody's taught them that, hey, you can't just go buy a pair of $300 Nikes. You got to save your money to, do this, that, or the other. And so that's where my thinking has been with what you're talking about, because it's like I would like to work with people who say, or get out of prison and they go to career and recovery, which is a class most people have to take when they get out, and be able to talk to the people there and say, hey, look, this is how you do this. You don't go to, a job interview with a wife beater on, and this is how you balance a checkbook. This is how you make a budget. All the things that they should have been taught, but they never were.
Right. And that's
sounds like a pretty cool thing to aspire to. I mean, do you plan on working with career recovery or what?
I don't know. They had asked me before to come in and be a speaker there, and I passed because I wasn't in the right place to do it. So that's what I've been trying to talk with my old counselor about. But just
you're pretty busy, Dave. You'd have to drop a job or something to do something like that.
Oh, I've dropped plenty of hours of my one job. I'm so tired of that thing.
Oh, really? Nina, stop that. You're moving the camera. Oh, she got it. She's going for one of those old rubber balls.
What? Yeah, actually, there's a community recovery or community corrections
Café?
No, the Recovery Café is something that I'm on the board of here in Longmont, and that is a huge place for people to find like a place where people can go whether they need a job or they need healthcare or they need just a place to go and hang out with people in the community that's judgment free and find whatever recovery they need, because the belief there is everyone is in recovery from something. So I'm on the board there, but there's a board opening up in December for community corrections, which is actually a halfway house here, and they work with the DA's office and stuff like that to get people housed in the right, they actually pull people here. They will house them in the halfway house before they get a charge, and they decide they work on ways to prevent that from happening. So I'm gonna try and see if I can get an interview with them and see what that looks like. See if that might be something worth doing.
I guess maybe we should have pursued.
This has been a fascinating episode so far, by the way. Everybody's so worried about y'all's jobs.
I detect no sarcasm there at all. Ryan, this. I guess maybe we should have looked into the LCDC while we were at Stringfellow.
Yeah, actually, what's funny is what I really wish I had known about, not the LCDC. It was the personal coaching. Life coaching.
No, the peer educating.
Basically peer educating, but life coach. So I've been looking online at one of the options on what to do, what to do with this information now. And one of the things that keeps coming up is being a life coach. And a lot of people who are life coaches are people who have come from tough backgrounds and then have built themselves up and then use their story to help people who are dealing with whatever day-to-day issues. And they'll usually have some sort of angle. There's one podcast I'm listening to right now where her angle is all about self-discipline. And that's her focus is on about self-discipline, but some of them are on mindfulness, some of them are on whatever. But I'm like, this is a legit way. A lot of guys inside, I feel like they wanted to be life coaches, or that's something that they wanted to do, but I didn't know that if they if they had known that they could have taken these courses, they would have totally jumped on it and gotten the certifications, because there's actually a legit certifying authority. There's an accredited courses and things like that. There's made up ones too, but there are accredited courses they could take, and they're all distance learning ones. The problem is that most of them are online now, but I'm willing to bet there's one or two that you could still do through the mail, because all it is doing essays and stuff like that and taking tests. And I'm amazed. Like, if I'd known about that in prison, I feel like that would have been perfect. I would have totally taken it, and then I'd be certified now. And it costs about a semester in college.
You have to have a certification to be a life coach?
You don't have to have a certification, but then you can actually, but then you are accredited, which you can use for along with other things. Like life coaches can be, when you go out and find speaking engagements, you can say that I am there's different levels. Like there's associate level, there's professional level, and then there's a master's level. And you can actually say when you're going out that I am an associate level, or I'm a professional level, or I'm in the master's level. And that you can actually put that as part of who you are and what you've accomplished. Most people probably aren't going to care if your message is really great, but if they don't know who you are, then that is a reference they can use.
That's, you talk about that. I was talking to this lady she's a lobbyist, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she was talking about peer education. Like, we were talking about peer educating and this, that, and the other. And she was talking like to in the corporate world, or, not on the level where we want to do this, but she was like, there's corporate peer educators who actually, they're there to help whatever, somebody working for whatever, Exxon, who is going through a bunch of crap or whatever, and they're a life coach.
Right.
But she was saying that a good avenue to look into to get into that is to get a social sciences degree.
Right. That absolutely, a social sciences, and I have a social sciences degree, but what I didn't realize is social sciences degree means nothing unless you have a master's or above.
Yeah, I figured that.
And also, another factor is if you don't have a master's or above, also means nothing if you don't have a driver's license. Bachelor's, social scientists, all of their jobs require driving house to house.
That would be something you're interested in doing?
No, not anymore. When I first got out, yes, I was looking at those jobs.
I'd rather work with the downtrodden, beaten down. I would work with homeless, because a lot of them are mentally unstable, or have whatever issues. But really, my biggest thing is I'd rather work with people that are prisoners, and actually rather work with people who have been to prison multiple times who haven't been able to figure it out yet, for whatever reasons, and try and help them, figure it out, just because they've been. Hell, I've been to prison. We don't even want to talk about how many times I've been to prison, but and it's like I figured it out, and it's like what I think, while I don't have any regrets, I wish I would have had my aha moment years before, because I think of how far I could be now compared to where I am,
And a lot of guys won't listen to me, like those guys that have been in and out a whole bunch of times, because I was in once, and I was in, I don't have a whole bunch of numbers behind it, and but you've been in and out a bunch of times, and they can see that you've been there, done that, and you got sick of it, and now you're doing this outside. So it's a whole. They listen to people who have been through the thing that they're going through right now.
Facts. And you're white.
Oh yeah, that too.
And a ginger.
Other categories, yeah. We're not gonna
That was a good one, right?
Dave, how many?
Yeah.
Slid that one in there.
Oh yeah.
I think 5 times altogether. Is that between prison and violations? I think it's 5 times.
No, that's not what I was going to ask. But thanks for offering that information, anyways. But now I'm gonna. What do you think it is that? All right, we're sitting here and we talk about how bad it was in prison, right?
Mm-hmm.
But apparently, for you, it wasn't that bad. I mean, what was it that made it possible for you to go back there more than one time?
So I didn't learn. And it's like you don't ever think you're going to go to prison. I'm sure that night that your crime happened, you didn't think that was going to happen.
I knew I was never going to put myself in a position to ever go back, though. You instead said, you knew you could have gone to prison because you already went, and then you went back.
Fact. Sorry, but hustling, for a long time, I thought it was the easiest way to go. It was easy money. And, looking back, I look back and I'm like, holy crap, I work 2 jobs now and I work less than I did when I was hustling.
That's crazy.
Because when you're hustling, every minute of the day, you're on your grind trying to make your money. And it's like, and you can't leave town to go on vacation because you're going to have people calling you because they want this, they want that. And especially if you're a drug dealer, why are you going to leave town? You're losing money. And you're not going to trust somebody else to sell to your customers because then you're going to lose them. So it's this big vicious cycle.
I'm just thinking right now, that puts you in a different position than I and Rainforest because, categorically, he and I,
one and done.
Yeah, it didn't take it. I didn't have to be in jail for 5 minutes before I knew I was never ever going to do anything to put myself back in there.
Yeah, it's simple though. When do you lose the fear of something?
When do you lose the fear of something?
When do you lose the fear of something?
I guess after you've gone through it.
Once you do it, right?
Yeah.
Everybody here was probably, scared to have sex with a female the first time, right? But afterwards, we were like, oh, wow, this is great. Or, whatever. Or you're afraid of heights. You jump off a building. Or drop off a cliff into a river.
Why did you add with a female that you said that?
I wasn't scared to have sex with a man. I was kind of excited. That's a joke, everybody, okay? That's a joke.
Sure it is.
I'm going to have all the gay boys hitting me up now. Okay. But anyway.
Look at your shirt. Show that shirt again. Where do you work?
How about shout out? Here you go. Barnaby's Café, Houston, Texas.
Barnaby's, go down, say hi to Dave.
Go down and say hi to Dave.
Flirt with Dave's coworkers and get support.
I'll flirt with everybody. I don't care.
You will. It's true.
I have no shame.
Well, I think we got to a good point, and maybe we might even have a good topic for another episode. So we'll wrap it up tonight. I think we got everyone caught up too. Any last plugs before we go? Or
I have one last question to ask Dave.
Okay, go. Let's go. Let's hear it.
No, I'm just thinking from the point of. I know you kind of answered this, but I don't really feel totally satisfied with your answer about. What is there? What is the difference between if you had to put your finger on it? What is the difference between someone who's, maybe has committed a crime or made a mistake or whatever and will never ever do it again, as opposed to the person that's going to be in and out multiple times? What would be what factor could you point to determine that?
Okay, so I'll use myself as an example. Okay, so I went to prison for 4 years and 9 months on a 25-year sentence. Lost absolutely everything I owned, lost every single friend I had, lost everything I ever, that meant anything to me in this entire world, right? So when I go to prison, I was like, well, hell, I'm going to be here. I didn't know I was going to do 5 years. I figured I was going to do 10. But anyway, so I get out after 5. And, I get a job. I start working, do this, that, and the other. But in the whole time, I'm also selling drugs on the side, right? And of course, you never think you're going to get caught selling drugs. I didn't, And so I just continued to do it. And it's like, it's that whole insanity of, you know, you just keep doing something. It's like the AA book. There's a chapter in the AA book talking about the dude that jaywalks. He keeps jaywalking and jaywalking and jaywalking. And that's the insanity of it. You don't think you're going to get caught, but so you just continue to do it. And like literally, at one point in my life, I used to leave the house with $20 and a bunch of cocaine. I'd come home at the end of the night with at least $1,000. I didn't do it every night, but I'd do it at least one night a week, you know? And it was easy money. I'd go out to the bar, drink, sell drugs, make money. But that's the insanity of it too. And it's like, it's fast, and it's easy, and it's the whole lifestyle that goes with it. And of course, you never think you're going to get caught, although you are. That's Nina trying to get her commentary in.
He's trying to want some attention right now. Oh, yeah, there you go.
Nina loves Malone because he will play with her.
Why would you have a dog you don't play with? I don't even understand the point of having a dog that,
I don't let her chew on me.
I don't let her chew on me either. You saw me stop it.
So he says, get down.
Well, we have the video evidence to otherwise now, Malone.
Yes. Here, well, I'll make it go away. I'll just. Nina, look, over there, look.
Woo!
Go. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you get rid of a dog.
There we go.
He's worse than a cat with this laser.
That's fine. It works.
Yep.
Makes life easier. All right, we're gonna wrap it up. The Shakedown was produced at Longmont Public Media, and our theme song "Shakedown" was brought to you by Envato Elements. If you want any Shakedown merchandise, or you want to support the show, you can go to waywordpress.com. That's WAYWORD press.com.